ain't heard it from us though. They ain't heard it from us. Cause nigga, like we got some shit to unpack, like for real. Whew. Come on
Well,
now.
what the hell was I doing? Oh, well, we can get started.
Yeah, we can go listen. Go ahead and get that intro popping, man. So I mean, yeah, get into the intro so we can let's get to talking about this masterpiece. Cut the
Care if they
intro on.
don't like me, I'ma live my life anywhere. I ain't fucking with her if she ain't watching anime. You know the finest women in the world, you know they cosplay. Pocket full of money, yeah, yeah. Man, I came to play, yeah, yeah. Drop top, yeah, yeah. Drop top, yeah, yeah. All summer, yeah, yeah. I won't stop, yeah, yeah. Beat going crazy, it's a whole box.
What's up, guys, and welcome
What's
back
up? What's up?
to
What's up?
Nerd on the Street. Please excuse me, I am very sleepy. It's like fucking 9 a.m.
Listen, but listen, this is long overdue. The movie done been out about 2 weeks now at this point. Like,
It has, and yesterday it crossed 200 million
I
worldwide.
mean, we knew we were going like this movie gonna get into the billions. I ain't gonna lie to you. I need this shit to hurry up and get on Amazon Prime, DVD, Blu-ray. I'm buying it all. I'm buying it all.
Well, they did. They already had it set for digital because I think Amazon may have had it for digital rental or whatever already. But they were like, because people have been demanding it go back into IMAX, they're putting it back in IMAX in certain places the 15th of this month through the 21st. And I said, well, this
That's
is
Star
just
Power.
like fucking
Sorry
Wicked.
about that. Somebody that called me.
I said, this is just like fucking Wicked, where they
Wait,
just
hold on. I can't
delayed
hear
the
you.
release of it.
Or maybe it's
I said, is it you?
no.
Are you sure?
I can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
I don't know. Is it me?
It's probably you.
Oh, can't hear you. I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
You'll probably have to leave and come back.
I can't hear you. I cannot hear you. Go back and then come back. Okay. Go back.
What the fuck is going on? This is what we have to go through. He's lucky I can edit. I might not edit this out though. I might actually just keep this in. Can you hear now?
Yes, I can. Okay, I'm back popping. Okay.
Yes, it's because whoever was that was calling you.
Okay, there we go. We good now. We good now.
Ow.
Hey man, hey, they could have locked this. Hey, they could have locked this pimping in the closet. Okay, you.
Oh my god. Somebody okay, so about that line, somebody said they're like, that feels really out of place. I said, did you listen to them talking? He was a pimp in Chicago. Like they were separated. So he literally asked if you were when you were selling ass in Chicago, did you let a trick pay later? He said, hell no. So like
Listen, first of all, let's just okay, because this is one of those movies that we are going to be notorious for, like going everywhere with it. So let's start
yes, I
with
know.
there we go. So let's save the hidden gems for later on, and let's get to the main basics of the movie.
Okay, so I do know that some people still have not seen this movie. I'm not sure what y'all
That's
doing, but
impossible.
okay. Yes, actually, no, it's not impossible. There are clips fucking everywhere on TikTok because people can't stop recording. So people are like, "Oh, I really should go see this movie." It's been out for 2 weeks, so I'm not even about to do a spoiler alert. Y'all should know better.
Exactly.
It's about it's about the Smokestack twins. So this is Smoke over here. If y'all can see my background, Smokestack. They were in World War I together. And then they went to Chicago and then they came back to the Mississippi Delta and they wanted to
Mhm.
open a juke joint. Um
Now I do have a
and
question. So it did slip. It did. I didn't know that Stack was in the World War with Smoke. I didn't know that.
yeah,
I
they
just
were
thought
together.
I just thought Smoke was because he was a soldier. He told you every time he got a chance. I didn't know that Stack was out there with him.
Yeah,
Which now I think
they
about
were
it,
together.
he did say that later on, like, in the trenches. Da, 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 da. I was like, okay, so now, okay, I didn't.
Yeah,
Okay.
they were together. And then I think honestly the only time that they were actually separated was when they were in Chicago because they end up stealing from both Irish and Italian gangs. So they have
Hmm.
Irish beer and then they have like a bunch of Italian wine. So they come down, open their juke joint, and then Remick, who is an Irish vampire, which I think is hilarious, comes through and is changing people into vampires. He ends up getting Stack, and then he gets killed at the end by Sammy. Honestly, the whole thing is really about music and Sammy, like the
Hmm.
evolution of music. It just happens to have vampires in it, which I think is an absolutely amazing plot device.
And actually, I just seen this video on TikTok today, which it was so funny because they was like, the movie is so accurate because they're not just vampires; they're trying to steal their culture. Like Rennick literally said, "Sammy, I want your songs, I want your stories, I want all that shit." Like I was like, "Damn, we
So, and
came
I
in."
also think so. Smoke is the only one that's married. Stack has this thing with Mary, who Haley Steinfeld plays, and she wanted to be with him bad. Okay,
Real,
but
no, 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 no.
like
You real bad.
real,
No, 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 real bad,
real bad.
real
She
bad.
wanted to be with him real bad. But just the relationship between Smoke and Annie and how it affected Stack and Mary. So Stack and Mary get turned into vampires. If you guys watch the trailer, Mary is the vampire first and she turns Stack. Okay.
Hmm.
And then, okay, so their whole entire thing was just getting everybody to be turned into vampires. Okay. So Annie, who that's my hoodoo girl. She knew exactly what the fuck was going on when she figured it out. I loved how nobody questioned her either.
Hmm.
Everybody was fucking locked into the words she was saying. When she
Everything.
figured it out and she told Smoke, "Kill me before I turn. Do not let me fucking turn into one of those."
Right.
A lot of people were getting very confused on why the vampires were upset when Annie died. I said, I will explain it to you as softly as I can. Smoke and Stack have never been separated except for when they were in Chicago, and that was probably barely. That was really only for them to enact a plan. They are
Hmm.
always fucking together. When Stack got turned into a vampire, he wanted his brother to be turned into a vampire too. He
Hmm.
knew that that was not going to happen if Annie wasn't a vampire too. He was not privy to the conversation between Annie and Smoke when Annie asked for him to kill her before she turned. So he
Hmm.
turned her first, knowing if he was able to turn Annie, then that would just send Smoke over the edge and turn with them.
And
When he
now, if
killed
you
Annie, Mary was so upset. She took off.
if y'all like remember like some of the scenes because the droppings was there when Stack was outside of the juke joint and he was talking to Smoke. Like you notice like how he was looking like this don't sound too bad. Niggas like Stack Smoke, bring your ass back in the juke joint, nigga. We're not doing none of you getting turned on the. I ain't gonna lie. That shit that Stack was talking outside, I was like, he's very convincing. And when Stack turned Mary, now I don't know if people like heard it when she looked up and she was like, not you.
Not you. When he turned
Not
Annie, yeah,
you.
yeah, she didn't want Smoke to be, I mean, she didn't want Stack to be the one to turn her. So she was
Hmm.
upset about that. But then, like, I mean, I knew it was probably going to be Stack. I knew it was probably going to be him to be the one to bite her. So when he did, and she was just like, not you, I was like, my heart.
Oh,
And
I
then
didn't even catch
there
that
was
at
this,
first.
uh, when she said it, I was like, damn.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I didn't even catch that at first. Like I knew like when she bit him, I was like, when he bit her, I was like, oh, damn, that's stuff. But the second time I seen it, because I've seen it about 3 times. The second time I seen it, like, when I heard it, I seen it. Like this is one of those movies. Like you're gonna have to watch it multiple times, and the movie's so good, it doesn't feel long. Like you can watch the movie and you could. This is like one of those movies. This gonna be one of those movies like the Friday, the all the other good like the movies, the black movies that have replay value.
Everybody's already repeating lines. I'm like, and I like this shit is funny because it's only been out for 2 weeks,
Two
and
weeks.
everybody is already repeating lines.
Everybody is saying, "Yeah, you stuck your tongue in my coop." I was like,
Now,
"Oh,
so one of the things also was the relationship between Smoke and Stack, and I think that's probably the saddest for me because I don't think people realize how much of a bond twins have.
mm-hmm,
And when they were having that conversation where, well, when Stack was having that conversation with Sammy when he got old for that mid-credit scene, and he was like,
mm-hmm."
that was the last time I seen the sun, the last time I seen my brother.
That was
And a lot of
that is
people
a
listen.
line. That's a
Uh,
line. That's a
uh,
line. Like I said, oh my god.
oh my god. And it showed them outside together looking at the sun. I was like, listen, where am I? But Smoke has PTSD and it's
Mm-hmm,
given him tremors. So he can't roll his own cigarette. So
mm-hmm.
he always has to have Stack roll the cigarette. When they were going talking about the money and the till and that man with the wooden nickels, and he was like, "I need a cigarette," and he said, "Coming right up."
Coming right up.
Smoke cannot roll his own cigarette. He
Mm-hmm.
trembles too much. And then he was like, when Stack died, when he thought Stack died, he said the best part of me was him. I'm like, oh my god, are y'all not listening? Please.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was so hurt. And then when he said, "I'm sorry I couldn't protect you this time," and he was like, "Don't be sorry, you always have."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then his last deed of protecting his brother after making him promise to stay the fuck away from Sammy was locking that building up so that he would be able to stay in the building in the dark. And I would like to think in my own head canon that, of course, when nightfall came, he buried his brother and Annie.
Mm-hmm.
That's just me. The
Now, okay.
sadness of it all.
The there's a lot of ways that we can go as far as like this review. Okay. So let me just I'm gonna give it to you in my opinion. Like the movie is first of all, the nigga who plays Sammy, for this to be your first movie,
Miles Caton.
listen, beautiful voice. Like, I mean, if you didn't like the blues before, you had to love it now. Because this movie has arguably there won't be another scene like when they was in the juke joint.
In
And
the juke joint
Sammy
scene.
got the
Oh my
Sammy got the
god.
Sammy got the plant. The roof, literally, the roof is on fire, niggas.
I
And
Lied to You was the catalyst.
listen, when that motherfucker, like when they were talking about how music connects the history, the past, and the future, and the this and the that. If black people aren't gonna do anything, it's we're gonna include you. So the niggas talk about, oh, he stole it from Dust Till Dawn. Never. We give those niggas they flowers. You seen the, of course you seen old rap, and then you had the old school, then Africa, then you had the Asians in there, and then you had the like. I was like, this is a lot going on in one scene right here.
And it
It's
was
a
a one
lot
shot.
going on. It's a lot going on.
It was a one shot. They did that in one shot.
That part, like, it now real shit. If I was Delta Slim is my favorite character in the movie. The nigga who played Delta Slim. First of all, it's a great
Delroy
movie.
Lindo. Delroy Lindo, yeah.
He like okay was so great. Like they got to be in the war for best supporting actor, or something like that.
There
Cause he
is.
gonna get cause Jesus like dude nigga who played Delta Slim. The part when they was driving and he was like, "Hey, Stack, slow down." And he told his people keep y'all head up. And then Sam was like, you know them? He said, I know all of them. And he told that story
Mm-hmm.
about like them having to play the blues to get out some shit, playing for the white folks, getting paid. He said, I drunk all my shit. But one of my friends, he tried to open up a church, pulled that money out, they lynched that man. And you could just like through the screen, I said, God damn. And then for him to just start,
Mm-hmm.
people don't notice that was all improv. That was literally all improv. That's why Michael B. Jordan was like, "Hey, you got that guitar, right?" Like he was like, "Oh shit!" Like that's all improv. But he had to fight for that scene to get put in there, and thank God that he did that because that shit was amazing. Listen, cornbread. Let's talk about cornbread.
Where my money?
Where my $2?
When he choked that man over $2, I was like,
No, real shit. I ain't gonna count. I ain't gonna count. Like back then, listen, you owe me $2, but you at the juke joint. You got money? Oh no! Like I need that before you get anywhere else. Like I need that.
He said, "Where my $2?" and choked that man. I was like, "Lord help me." I said, "This is so black. This is so black."
Man, listen. Back to there's a part under this is that I've been dying to talk about this. And the part when we know the vampires is here now. They're here. They're outside, they dancing, and they we gonna talk about that boy Remick out there dancing too, because he was going crazy. The part when Annie was like, we dealing with vampires. I was like, okay. When she was like, all of us are gonna eat this garlic. And
Bruh.
everybody was like,
And
okay, cool.
fucking Pearline talking about some, I don't
Listen,
like garlic very much. Bitch,
listen,
nobody
no,
asked you.
let me tell it. Let me tell it. Because everybody eating the garlic. Okay, cool, everybody. She gets to the Pearline and she like, this is stupid. If I was Smoke, I would have shot her right in the mirror.
Smoke
What you
gave
mean?
her that opportunity, and I said, Smoke is about to shoot the fuck out of you if you don't eat
Listen,
that piece of garlic.
I
And
tell
Sammy talking
I,
about she's not a vampire, bitch.
Hey, listen, I'm telling you right now, if Annie was not there, Smoke would have killed a lot more niggas. Because there wouldn't have been no, like, oh, this is stupid. Bitch, you better eat that motherfucking garlic. And here goes Sammy. Man, she ain't no. Sure. I'm trying to save your life. We got vampires outside. What are we talking about right now? Man, listen.
And because it's the fact that, and it's like when she said vampires and she talking about some, I don't like the taste of garlic very much. And Grace was like, nobody asked you to fucking like the
No,
taste.
man, nigga, this ain't dinner
Taste.
time. Nigga, eat that.
But I think one of the things was with fucking Delroy when he ate the garlic, but he had drank too much and he started choking.
I would have shot him too. I would have shot him too. No, I'm sorry.
They said Smoke gave him more of a chance than he gave Pearline. I say he didn't shoot Pearline. He put the gun to Pearline, but he put the gun to Delta Slim too. He was just waiting.
He was just like, you could tell he didn't want to shoot Slim. Like he was like, "Come on, Slim! Like,
Yeah,
what's going
he had the
on?"
steak. He had the steak ready and everything. He's like, "What's going on, bro?" I mean, I was like, "Oh my god, oh my god."
I
I
said,
said this shit was funny as
"Please."
hell.
So
When he finally said he was drinking too much, I said, "You play entirely too much. This is not the time for games."
bro, listen, like
Not the
I said,
time.
the stress. I'd have been like, the stress is just, it's getting too crazy at this point. Listen, real shit. When the nigga said real shit, he was like, got my head all fucked up. He's like, "Ah, ah." What the fuck was that? I'm like, what the Slim? If you don't stop drinking, like if Slim would have survived that night, I'm sorry, bro. You gotta stop drinking.
Now, I do understand some people's confusion because at first I was confused, but then I remembered like the first time I watched it. The second time I watched it, I was like, okay, yeah, I was right. When they all came, when Grace invited them, we'll talk about Grace in a minute 'cause she pissed me off. But when Grace invited the vampires in, and there were other people getting bit before the main cast actually did anything, and people were like, where the fuck did those other extra people come from? Those people were workers that were in the building earlier. When Annie is explaining the vampire stuff, they are sitting on stage getting the
I'm glad.
getting the stuff ready.
I'm glad you said that because Lord knows when they came in, I was like, "Who's all those extra niggas getting killed?"
I did say that. I was like, who is that? Because they weren't in the circle. The circle was mainly for like the main part of the cast. So they
Right.
weren't in the circle. I feel like Annie probably just like gave them garlic after all of that, just so that they
Mhm.
could, but they never left the building. Like they were the ones who were beating up the guy with the loaded dice and threw his ass outside.
That part was so funny. They said, "Are you sure he was? That's blood." They like, ooh.
I felt bad for him because they put him outside and he's the one who got like his face slashed by the guy with the loaded dice. I felt bad for him because
Mhm.
he was just like drunk and passed out and they just put his ass outside. I
And
think had
then
they
he said,
reacted a
"There's,
little bit
there's some,
faster, he probably
there's
would have
some
been
weird." The nigga said, "There's some weird shit going on out there. There's some weird shit."
there was some weird shit going on, bro. I felt so bad. But yeah, I knew some people had gotten confused because they were like, who the fuck are those people? And I was like, they were in there. They were the
Mhm.
people who beat the curb stomped that man in the back for
Yeah, they
taking the
did.
loaded
Listen,
dice.
listen. Let's let. Okay, we're gonna speak on Grace a little bit. Okay,
Yeah.
I you can tell that the twins had a better relationship with the husband than the
Bo was
Grace.
their childhood friend.
Yeah, so like you can tell like when everything was cool when y'all was making money. Everything straight. Y'all cooking, y'all dancing, everything. Soon as the
You came to
vampire
the
come,
party.
we gotta go. Anyway, hey, Bo was like, that man just lost his brother. She like, and now don't get me wrong. As a parent, I get it. But you can't
But
tell
the
me that
thing
I'm
is,
not trying no
but the
damn. I
thing
ain't going outside.
is, but the thing is that she knew he was lying. And Annie's sitting there telling you, it's almost fucking sunrise, ma'am. How the fuck they gonna get there?
Right,
Now, and I would have been on her side if Bo was the first person she killed, because of course, if somehow they were able to survive, like, they go shack up in a fucking house somewhere and they're able to get to the town. Okay, let's say that. Bo is the one that she recognizes, that her daughter recognizes. So of course she's going to invite her father into the house, right?
right,
So I understand taking out Bo to, prevent your daughter from. If Bo was the first person you took out and then you helped, I would have been on your side, girl.
right.
But you killed Bo and then let yourself burn to death and didn't do anything else? No. Hell no. Hell
The
no.
pro-
Because what?
the the problem that I had with Grace was I get it. Like, of course, they threatened the child, and da, 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 but I would have told her, listen, you have to we got to put the pieces together. They're here for that man right there, Sammy. They're not leaving without him. They're not leaving. They're not leaving to go. If they want to go terrorize the city, like terrorize
They
the
could
town,
have left.
they would be doing it right now. There's a reason why they're here. They're not leaving this place.
They could have left. And I keep saying that to people, and they're like, oh, they would have made it to the town. They could have made it to the town already.
They
They
was
wanted Sammy.
outside the whole time.
They were outside all night long because Remick wanted Sammy. He was not leaving without that man. And they were like, well, he could have sent Stack and Mary to the town. Stack and Mary were not leaving without Annie and Smoke. Are you not listening? Why
Like
are you not
I'm
paying attention?
and that's what kind of made me mad about like the whole like race situation where it's like yeah they threaten your child, okay, cool, but like Andy said, like we just gotta hold out to something, like literally, like we just gotta hold out, and they would have survived. There is
15
no in
minutes.
no way, form, or fashion where dumb niggas. I don't care how much dancing they doing. I don't care whatever. They would not go to that building without being invited in. So you're literally in the clear. Like the second that you know they can't come in until you invite them in, you're Gucci bandana.
But the thing is, and one of the things that I really didn't like about her either is when she mocked the fact that Smoke was a soldier. And if this is not go time, I don't know what is. I'm like, even as a soldier, you have to have a fucking plan. It's called a war plan. You have to
Listen,
have a fucking plan. You would not let that man sit there and think so that he could figure out what it is that they needed to do. And y'all still weren't ready. Nobody had any weapons in their hand when you did that. Everybody still had to get ready. Y'all were not ready for that. And you just, I would have shot her. I would have shot
listen,
her.
real shit.
Not
The
even
problem.
playing.
Oh, listen. Okay, you invite the niggas in. Okay, cool. You're condemning us to death. Okay, cool. That's selfish. You let the when you locked in, like if I'm locked in, like I'm gonna kill this nigga right here. This the first nigga I see. I'm throwing it. The second the door cracks open where I know the bottle gonna go through, it's getting thrown. You wait till the door's all the way open, then you throw it, then he like smacks it aside. Really?
And then you went straight for your husband, which again is fine because I guess that's a plan. You go straight for your husband and you kill your husband and yourself because y'all were close to the fire. And I'm like, useless as fuck because you did that and you could have went outside by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
If that's what you were going to do, you could have went outside by yourself. And there were a lot of people who pointed out the fact that they have two stores on the street. Her store is on the white side.
Mm-hmm.
His store is on the black side. I say his store is on the black side because he is Smoking Stack's childhood friend. He talks like them when he
Mm-hmm.
he's been around them.
Yeah,
So like it's very obvious, and it's obvious that he didn't want to just leave them because of what just happened.
of
And
course.
I hate that when they were like, I hate that everybody had to go outside without fully knowing what was going on
Right.
because
Like, I mean, literally sent them to the
everybody
wolves.
just left. Everybody just left. So when Bo saw that everybody just left, but he didn't see any, like he didn't see anybody walking. It was just empty outside. I was like, those people stepped outside 5 seconds ago. It should not be empty like that.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it empty like that? And he just went outside. She just sent him outside. And I'm like, and you didn't watch? You didn't watch? You didn't watch your husband walk outside to the car?
Hey, you know what you sound like? You sound like Smoke when he seen that Delta Slim was out the door. He like, where cornbread at? He was
Right.
like, man, that nigga went to
And
go
he
pick
left
some
you to
niggas.
watch the door.
He said, and he left you to watch the door. And, yeah? It's like, what
Like,
the
you weren't watching.
fuck? You
One of the ones I wanted to get into was Mary. Now, Haley Steinfeld is actually an octoroon. So I thought that shit was interesting. I thought picking her to play someone who is white passing is really funny.
No,
But
let me before you start getting into this,
yeah.
let me make this very clear. I didn't know that was Hawkeye. I was like when I like I'm seeing it, I'm like, okay, Haley, and I'm like they showing like her. I said, that's the same nigga that was in Hawkeye? Damn. God damn, like that nigga. She didn't look like that in Hawkeye. I'm just saying.
No, I think she was a little younger in Hawkeye though.
What, I mean Hawkeye
Hawkeye
came out a
came
few
out a
years
couple
ago.
years ago.
Yeah, it came. Oh, well, yeah, you ain't right about that. But yeah, like,
Yeah.
mm,
So I enjoyed her performance. Her
I did. Yeah.
relation with Stack. Um, I mean, I understood where she was coming from with the mixed signals. I understand. I also understood Stack, where he's literally sitting there telling you, I wanted you to be safe, and you were
Hmm.
not going to be safe with me. Hence, your ass got turned into a vampire, which you getting turned into a vampire was your own damn fault because why did you take your fucking ass outside?
And because she like because she could get away with going outside and quote unquote filling them out, trying to see what kind of money they got. Like,
No, 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 no. But see, this is my thing. And I understood why she wanted to go outside, but you already stood there, right? When they were playing pick that Robin clean at the door.
I might
and
have been.
they were weird, and it was awkward, and we'll get to Remick and that whole scene in a second, but it was weird. And so when he pulled you, or you pulled him aside to talk about what they needed, is the fact that they needed money. You decided on your own to take your ass outside. You should not have been the one to go outside. It definitely should have been Stack, but yes, she is right. He's more willing to talk to you because you are white passing. That's fine. You should not have gone outside alone. Number one. Number two, why the fuck would you turn your back on them people? And then you sat in the middle of a trio of weird ass people.
Still playing something. Don't even know what they're playing.
Yes, and I'm
Y'all
like,
didn't leave. Like y'all didn't leave. Like
you're white passing, which means you do have somewhat of a black side, and nothing of your black side was ringing in your ear, that you just decided to sit in the middle of three strange white people and you let that lady touch your shoulder. I would have left. You had the gun on you. You shouldn't have turned your back. Why did you? I'm like, girl, every single white person error is being made currently. And that's why your ass got
hey,
turned first.
your white side taking over. You're not making the best decisions right now.
I was like, that's why your ass got turned first.
Now, like I said, we listen, y'all got to bear with us because the movie just so great. There's just so much stuff to talk about. When Remick, the one of the lines of the movie, this I don't care. Like this is gonna be one of this is gonna be talked about for years. When Remick walked up, Smoke walked up. He was like, "Y'all clan?
Y'all claim,
Hey, no, no, no,
sir,
no, no, no,
we
no,
believe in
no.
equality.
Equality, equality. Hey, whoa, no. The way that he looked, he was like, whoa, whoa, no, 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 no. Like I would be,
It was
y'all.
it was the offense he took at being
Hey.
asked if he was clan. And he was like, sir. He was like, what the fuck? I almost expected him to say, what the
He
fuck?
said, am I a vampire? Yes. Am I clean? No.
Murder? I am perfectly fine with murdering every single person here and turning them into a
But y'all
vampire.
will
But
not label me a
racism?
racist. Y'all.
Racism? Oh my god. I wonder if he knows he can just put his phone on D&D. A tragedy.
I'm saying, God,
You
everybody
know
named
you can
Mama
just
keep
put your
calling.
phone on D&D, right?
I don't do stuff like that.
I do.
Clearly, and you.
Huh?
Everybody named mama keep calling me. I'm like, bro, like, I'm busy.
I mean,
Oh,
it's
okay.
just for the show. You could have just put it on D&D for the show and took it off.
Well, I've never done that, so yeah, I'm sorry. But yeah, like I said,
Probably
when the
should.
nigga said, bro, I'm not playing, like he said, I'm not playing. Like that nigga said, I
Bro.
first thing he said, we believe in equality. Equality.
Wait, and
That
somebody said,
shit
but there
was
were two clan members with you. I said, and you see, they share his ideology. So they're
Mhm.
talking about friendship and then killing the clan. So he only really cared about the fact that they knew his uncle and the knowledge that they were carrying about the clan, so that he could go also kill the clan. He even offered
Oh yeah, he
to
said, yeah, we
turn
gonna go
them
get
so
rid
that
of
they could go.
yeah, we gonna go get rid of them too. Like, yeah, hey, yeah, his uncle, he like the Grand Wizard. Yeah, we gonna go get him
Right.
too.
He's like, I mean, we can go and straighten him out too, because he's coming to kill y'all in the morning. So like we can straighten him out right now. Like,
I would
what?
watch that part just like I ain't gonna lie to you. Probably in a few, and I know for a fact they'll have it in a maybe like maybe next month or something like that. Probably after DreamCon, I'm gonna rent a theater. I just need all niggas in that movie at the same time because that part right there, that nigga said when he just said, "Are y'all clear?" Hey, whoa, whoa, we believe in equality.
I
The
can't even
fact he
believe
could
you'd ask
not
me that.
like you like, what?
He's
He
so
said,
offended.
we just here to play the blues. He said, listen, you talking
Right.
about clan, you
We're
talking about
playing we're playing music. We came to play music and spend money. Racism? I can't believe you would think I was racist.
That shit was so
No, no,
funny.
no.
That,
When after that, when Smoke's like, "So where y'all from?" and she's like, "Right down the road," and Stack was like, "And where's that?" It's like, please shut
yeah,
the
like
fuck
yeah,
up.
where is it? Like I was asking the same question. Like, yeah, where is down the street? Because we pretty far. So what do you mean by down the street?
When she said right down the road, and Stack was like, "And where's that?" Like, Stack, shut the fuck up,
Nah, he would
please.
like say lie. No, when they was this is why I love like Delta Slim was a drunk all the way to the end. When they was talking like when they turned Stack and they was talking to Rennick and all them, they was like you see Delta Slim in the back taking that swig like I said, listen, Slim, I understand. Cause that shit would have been so stressful for me. Like,
No, when Cornbread got turned and was at the door, and he was like, "We need to be doing what we're supposed to be doing." Delta Slim was like,
and what's
"And
that?
what is we supposed to be like? What is we supposed to be doing?" He was like, "Being kind
Being
to one
kind of one
another."
another.
And Delta Slim was like, "Be
He
honest."
said, what the fuck is going on right now? Man, listen,
And
that
he
part.
said to him, "Well, can I at least get my money?"
He said, hey, he said, Stack was my ride up there. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. He said, it'd be your own people. It'd be your own.
No,
Now,
because people were confused. Actually, they were like, "Why is he holding his hand like that?" Bitch, because he's a vampire and he can't cross the door. So yes, he's holding his hand close to his body.
now I will say this. I love the fact that they brought back like that having to like be invited in because I ain't gonna lie, like these some new vampires. I said, you got all
I mean,
these
but it's
new.
it's an old vampire rule though.
That's what I'm saying. Like I'm glad that they brought that aspect of it back because like walking in, they like, listen, Annie check that nigga at the door. She said, hold up,
She
come
said,
on, like
"Why do you have to be invited in? You've been walking in through here all night. You big enough to push past us. What's the
all
problem?
of us. He said, well, that won't be
That
kind.
wouldn't be too
Really?
polite, right? I don't give a fuck. Like y'all
Stack over
need
there.
and
Smoke over there
Smoke was
like,
like,
nigga, you been walking in out here all day.
what do you need to be invited for now? Like, what are we
Hey,
doing?
hey, they said that part on with cornbread asked for his money. They said Smoke should have gave it to him the way Ti gave Big Boy that money on the ATL. He said, "You want your money? Yeah."
Would have threw that shit too. When she said be careful, I would have just threw it outside because
Man,
but his reflexes were on fucking
this is how
point
you know like
because
Stack Smoke is
Jesus.
one of those niggas like he trigger happy. But the nigga like soon he
Yes.
got grabbed, bang! I'm like, yeah, I say that is quick on the draw.
No hesitation whatsoever.
That
No
was so.
hesitation whatsoever.
Now I want to like separate the twins right quick. I want to talk about Smoke because man, that nigga he had some like he had like a heavy aura about him on the part when they was going to go meet Bo and them pull up talking to the little girl that and like the layers like you think like you when you see Smoke you see everything like you think he's just like damn near a villain type nigga like he just don't play he don't know but I like how the movie kind of shows like different sides of him. I thought he would have been a great father. Like, we know him and his baby died, but I thought Smoke would have been a great father after that interaction with the little girl. Like, okay, like, hey, come here. I need you to, the smokestack twins. Yeah, like soon as he said I'm Smoke, the girl was like, oh shit. Like, chill out. I'm
He's
trying to put
like,
some
no,
money.
you're not in trouble.
Like, yeah, I'm trying to put some money in your pocket. Listen, I'm gonna give you 10 cents. You can tell time. She's like, yeah. She said, see, that ain't gonna work. Now we talking numbers. We talking to negotiating. So, now numbers gotta go back and forth. So 10 cent ain't gonna work for you, right? She's like, yeah, like, well, throw me a number, 50 cents. I can only do 20. She was like, okay, like just showing Smoke in a different light. Like I was like, hey, like That's not a bad
Listen,
guy
they
right there.
did that. They did that only to turn around and
Fast
have Smoke
forward.
shoot two people. Only to then be like, "Hey, I just shot two niggas in the street. Here's the money to get them patched up." Like, you know,
Smoke.
trigger
Like,
happy.
listen,
Trigger happy.
when he heard that horn and the girl's like, they still lit, he's like, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. No talking, stop. Hey,
No hesitation whatsoever.
another line of the movie. Wherever you going, I bet you this bullet beat you there. Yeah, that's it. Ah. Listen, I feel like, yeah, they was. I think they said they were going for about what 6, 7 years, right?
7 years.
About
7
7
years.
years. With that type of reputation, I wouldn't have even risked it. The second the girl said,
He was like, I
"This
thought he was
is this is
lying. I don't give a
this
fuck.
is Smoke's truck," you just can't pull that name out of nowhere. Man, she said, "I thought you was lying." Now you shot.
Randomly,
Now you shot.
randomly pulled that name out of thin air is insane. Because if she had said that and y'all knew who it was, I wouldn't have even fucking risked my leg,
But listen, I
let
wouldn't
alone
have
my
risked
ass.
none of it. He's like, oh.
Like, I wouldn't have risked
And then
absolutely
so
nothing.
listen, hold on, let me see something. Hold on, because
When he
this
said,
is one thing.
y'all all right? Yeah, I was until you shot me in the ass. Why you stealing from my truck,
Listen,
nigga?
I gotta. It's so funny because I noticed back then, and we might need to bring this back. You know, when niggas be talking, when they like, um, hey, Smoke, I didn't know you was back. Yeah, man,
Fucking
that's my
fuck.
truck. This your truck?
I
I
thought
didn't
you was
know.
lying.
He
She said, bullshit, I told
was
you.
I told you. That and then he shot the nigga in the leg. Oh man, I ain't gonna lie to you. I did feel bad. He said I came at y'all say
He said,
y'all
what did I
awfuls.
do?
That shit. Now that
You
man,
were
that
there.
scene was pure. Yeah, no, you was in the truck too, nigga. He said ain't
You were
nobody
there.
gonna be known for stealing our shit at all. They like you said, yeah, I just shot two niggas outside. Like, yeah, Bo, like, go get your mama. God damn, go get
But I think one of the things that was also interesting between the two of them is the snake when they were with Sammy, and how they interact with Sammy separately, and
you.
two, how they handled the snake situation, because and not just the snake situation, but the situation inside of the juke joint before they bought it with
Right.
Hogwood, where Smoke is very much in the front, like your eyes are on me, and you have Stack in the back
hmm
with the knife. Now
Right.
when they the snake though, I said I think that's an interesting parallel because Hogwood is a snake.
Yeah.
So you have one that they just dealt with, and then you have an actual snake, and
hmm
they did the exact same thing. Really, keep your eye on one with the knife with the other, and I was like, Smoke is the cold-blooded killer here. Smoke is the cold-blooded killer here. I said I really would not doubt that Smoke killed the most people in the
No
war.
question. No question. No question. Listen,
100% he killed the most people,
when
and he got
like
PTSD saving Stack.
every time like some shit was going, Smoke was like this. I'm ready. Like
Hand on the weapon every time. Hand on the weapon.
like he pulled the gun on his cousin. He's like, man, this ain't gonna be my last juke joint. Well, shit,
I keyed. He's like, "What you backing up for? You just gave me an order." I said, "Please don't do it. Just don't do it."
I said,
Sammy,
listen.
I did enjoy Sammy because Sammy was kind of like that outlier. Everybody that was present was very obviously a sinner in some way, shape, or form.
Mhm.
He was kind of just like morally ambiguous. And it wasn't until he did all of that with Perline that he became just like completely over the edge. But she was just like the catalyst for him. But um Sammy's music and the fact that he was still willing to split playing his music and whatever the hell his father was talking about,
Mhm.
but at the end of the day he still wanted to be himself and leave.
Mhm.
And the interaction that he had between Smoke and Stack, so like Stack is encouraging him to
Do the
do what you
music
do,
like you can
use
like
your
when
talent.
he was playing, like the look on Stack face, like, Oh
when he started
shit.
singing, not even when he
Yeah.
was playing, but when he started singing, and he was just like, "Oh my god!" So he was very encouraging of the talent. And then when it was his turn to perform in the juke joint, he was like, "Hey, that's my cousin. Everybody watch this," because Smoke hadn't seen it yet. Smoke hadn't
Hmm.
seen it. Smoke hadn't heard it. So he was really excited. But then it was like Smoke was like, "No, like I see your talent and I get it, but no." And I'm just like, "Come on." But you could tell that Smoke was more of the protector. I said, I really just need y'all to pick a different city that's not Chicago, for one.
Hmm.
'Cause Jesus Christ. When he said Chicago ain't nothing but Mississippi with tall buildings, I was like,
Listen, bro, he wasn't, bro. Like them, like when Smoke said, "I would rather deal with the evil I know." I said, "Fuck that."
listen, it's the fact
That.
that we're sitting here quoting the fucking movie as if we've seen it
Well, I
17,
just said
18 times.
I'm going to go watch it in IMAX again. So
Well, they took it out of IMAX. So you have to find when it goes back into IMAX on the 15th through the 21st, you have to find a theater that's close to the city because it's not they have it in major cities. So like we don't have it here anymore and they don't have it anymore in California, but when they bring it back, you have to go to Irvine, California in order to see it in
yeah,
IMAX.
that's
Yeah.
crazy. Well, I'm gonna have to do something because I
I said
definitely
I was just going to go see it again, period.
I am, but I've seen it 3 times already, so I really want to. They're like, oh, like watching IMAX. Okay, I'll watch it in IMAX. I have no problem with that, like at all. So I am going.
IMAX is amazing.
Now let's talk about this nigga Stack. Okay, Stack is first of all, let me just give Michael B. Jordan all his flowers on this acting performance because when you walk out the movie, you're going to talk about Stack and Smoke like they're two different niggas. Man, when Stack pulled up on Cornbread, that shit was so funny when that nigga said, "Listen, like, like, oh, meet my wife." He said, "Okay, cool. Like, I need to come talk some business with you." He said, "Nah, I'm buying your quarter." He said, "Fuck your quarter." He said, "I'm in front of my wife." Fuck your wife.
Fuck your wife too.
I say, Stack, you're going the fact like you can tell like he is the talker of the two because for him to put that together like fuck your quarter, fuck your wife, she really gonna let you fuck after how much money you've been to make from this job. I ain't talking about that.
And then his wife is just like, okay, hold on, pause.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Go
She
ahead.
like, hmm? He
How
said,
much money you talking about?
and now she's a single mom. Damn.
Bruh, like I felt bad for her honestly because she encouraged him to go do it, and then now she has no idea what happened to him, none
Yeah,
whatsoever.
and that shit. What? Listen, he said, she might let you put a peck in her mouth. I said, listen, the way
I
Delta
think
Slim,
outside of the yeah, go ahead,
huh? The way
go
Delta
ahead.
Slim and Sammy like turned their head when he said that, they said, "Oh my god, why would Stack say some shit like that?" And when he was
Because
gonna
it's
go,
fact.
wife was like, "Oh, hold on. How much money we talking about? See, you got a good woman right there." And he pulled that money out. Yeah, you get to Stack. He was his first interaction with Mary at the station. Hey, there's a white girl looking at you. He said, "You sure she
Are
white?"
you sure she's white?
He said, "You sure?" He said,
You
"Yeah."
sure she's white?
He said, "She walking over here now." He said,
He
"Damn."
said, fuck.
He said, "Hey, no, no, don't look at her. Don't look at her. Just go play. Go play." Man, that Stack is literally like what's like going on right now in like situationships in today's time where you like she said you fucked the shit out of her, laid on her chest, woke up, you gone. And Stack kind of put on this like front where it's like, I don't fuck with that bitch. Like, man, I
I
don't
mean,
care.
but he had a reason to because
Of
one,
course.
she's
Yeah.
married, and then
Mm-hmm.
two, she's white, and it's just like you're white passing, and it's just like nobody here knows about your family but me.
Mm-hmm.
So they're just going to see me cussing out this white woman in the Jim
Hmm.
Crow South. Are you trying to get me lynched at the train
Jim
station?
Crow,
What the fuck
not
are you
like
doing?
emphasis on Jim Crow. So then they talk about the Klan. I'm like, Klan could be here, like, but that one
And
part where she,
even when she came to the juke joint, he was like, "It just takes the wrong person to see you in here. Get out."
hmm
She
and
ain't
then
listen.
here she go. I just wanted you. No, no, it was never gonna be with me.
When she said, "I didn't want to be white, I wanted to be with you," I said, "Oh, she went here bad."
I just
She
want to be
was
white.
so. I didn't want to be white. I wanted to be with you, and I was like,
Now, listen, not gonna lie. That part where he was like, he said like, okay, how much I got to pay to get you up out of here? He said, you can't buy me up. He said, well, I'll pay one of these girls to beat you up. She said, Stack, you taught me how to fight. I beat every bitch up here, and you know that. I was like, she love that nigga. Like, this is
she,
her first
man,
everything. He
like a
taught her how to
witch.
shoot. He taught her how to fight. He taught her how to shoot the gun. Taught her how to be a criminal, sell the drugs. Probably was her took her virginity. Like, like this is she was like the
She's that bad girl.
super rider dog. Like she's like I can go out there. Like when she turned around, he was like, you know where to put the gun at nigga. Like
And
you're
then when
like
they came
man.
back and they were with each other for all of those centuries, and they both came together to see
Hmm.
Sammy. I was like, yeah, she let a man.
Now I ain't gonna lie to you. Well, shit. After we together forever. I
Mm.
love the fact that it didn't feel like these vampires like of course they was doing bad things, but they didn't feel evil to me. They didn't when Stack was still Stack, when like all those years later when he met Sammy, and when he told him he's like, Smoke told me to let you live your life. For him to honor that, and even like they hugged each other after, like he's like, yeah, I'm finna get up out of here. Like they like embraced each other. This isn't like, oh, this is an evil spirit walking around the earth. Like, no, that's Stack. Now, Stack, I ain't gonna lie to you. Stack, how many niggas you done turned? Because I know you've been gone for about 70 years. How many vampires you got up under your belt now? Because I just can't
And
believe that you
honestly,
can.
I feel like I wasn't even, and that was the thing is like I wasn't even worried about that because nobody knew that he was alive up until that scene.
At that
So it's
point,
just
yeah,
like, and the fact that he had all of Sammy's albums and was
all of
like,
them.
I didn't care about that electric shit. He's like, I like the real shit. And like, he was
Hmm.
like, can you play for it? And I was like, I said, this is the sad part of it all because
Like that's still my uncle.
everybody lost somebody.
Yeah,
Everybody lost somebody. So like, Sammy lost Smoke. Stack lost Smoke. Sammy lost Perline. I said, I feel like kind of odd because he named his club Perline's, and you knew that lady for one day. But
I
all right,
mean,
whatever,
he did bust her
whatever,
down. He ate that marinated cat.
whatever.
He
I
ate,
said, so he lost. I was like, he lost several people. He lost Delta Slim. He lost Perline. He
yeah,
lost Smoke and Stack. Up
lost
until the
his
point
lot.
where he didn't even.
Lost his fan, like his like mom, dad, like because he was
Yeah,
going to
he
go do
lost
his music.
every because he left,
Now,
and
I want to say
then
this right now: for Sammy to be clutching that guitar after like, and now this what really made me mad. Like this what really pissed me off about like the one thing that pissed me off about the movie. Your son walks into the church covered in blood, slashes with an F on his face. The first thing you talking about is give your life to God.
yes,
I get
because he
it.
was like he knew what he knew when he was going out that like that whole when he said you keep dancing with the devil's gonna follow you home and all of that extra shit. And as soon as he stepped in the church looking like that and he started talking about religion, I was like, he literally just had this conversation with Remick as he was being mock baptized.
So
I don't believe
yeah,
in religion.
man, listen, getting choked, being drowned, nigga. The whole vampire reciting the prayer that you think is gonna save your life. When Remick told that man, when those people came and invaded my land, and they
They said the
forced those
same thing to
words on
me.
us too. I kind of like
Yes.
them. Everybody's like, I kind of like the word, but he ain't gonna help
They
you
don't they
here.
don't
Like,
work. They don't work. And I think that's what pisses me off most about people who, oh, I had to leave in the middle because of all the demon work. Girl, if you worship Satan, that's you. Nobody's fucking talking about none of that shit. They have a hoodoo witch in there. And did she cast a spell on anybody?
she
No.
actually put a protection spell on Smoke and saved his life. Yeah, plethora of
I
times.
was like, not even is I said she gave him a mojo bag. A mojo bag which he has been carrying with him since he left 7 years ago. I said,
Hmm.
so she cast a spell on the bag and the things that go in the bag and then gave him the bag back. It was up to him
Hmm.
whether or not he wanted to wear it. And he wore
Right.
it because his wife is the one who did it. I
Right.
said, the question about why didn't your magic save our baby was out of pocket as fuck.
It was. I mean, but
But I
yeah.
understood where he was coming from. Like, I got that. And she was like, I don't know. But I protected the fuck out of you, though, didn't I?
Yeah.
And I can't, every time people bring up witchcraft and just, I'm like, you don't even understand witchcraft to even be having this conversation with anybody. Y'all
Yeah.
think everything is witchcraft. Everything. Everything except for what is actually witchcraft and the shit that you do, but you think everything else is.
He said witchcraft. It's not witchcraft.
God, every time. And I'm just,
Now,
oh, the demons. I was like, the vampire. I said, he does
vampires.
have like a vampire. He has like a vampire demon form. I think that's kind of just like basically adding to the religious aspect of it when he got hit in the head with the metal piece of the guitar. But like,
Now, this is the problem that I'm having with people. They like you saying, they say, "Oh my God, it's so this, it's so that." Y- y- y'all, these the same niggas that's watching Exorcist movies.
but now that it has
Listen,
nothing to do with black people, and then somebody said talking to your ancestors is demonic. It's not.
I would
I
love to
said
talk
that's
to those
weird.
niggas.
I said that's a weird thing to say because when y'all go to a funeral, you're like, she's looking down on us, or he's looking down on us, and you'll always be able to talk to God. So is it demonic or not? Pick one.
I think the people that are like nitpicking, like they're like, "Oh, I had to watch all the." I think we can't even. Listen, I see the post up with that. We can't even get killed by vampires in peace. We can't even get vampires.
Not at all.
We
Overall, I think the movie is like a 10 out of 10. When you start thinking about things that happened, the fact that everybody lost somebody. So Lisa is now orphan. She lost both of her parents,
love
has
her
absolutely
parents.
no
Yeah,
idea what the fuck happened to them.
yeah,
Smoke, Stack lost Smoke and Annie.
right.
Because no matter what happened, that like Annie was still his family. Um, Sammy lost everybody.
Hmm.
Um, and then it was like Delta, and then Delta Slim sacrificed himself, but Delta Slim didn't have anybody else.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, and then just like knowing that that was the very last time that those two saw each other and saw the sun together. And I was like, just depressed me. And then somebody, of course, made the connection when he said that was the last time I seen my brother and it was the last time I seen the sun. And they then referenced the ending of Black Panther when Killmonger
Yeah, I
died
just
and
seen
had
that.
him
Yeah, yeah,
right
yeah,
there.
yeah.
I said, please leave me the fuck alone.
Listen,
I don't need
I
depression
seen that
today.
today, and I was like,
And they had the music they had the music that Miles was singing over it. I
hmm.
said, please, I need y'all to stop.
Yeah,
I
it
do.
was. Yeah, like I mean, now I ain't gonna lie. I'm listening to the Center soundtrack. It's pretty fire. Um,
Yes, it is.
uh, uh,
I have this song I Lied to You. I have that one, not the radio edit where they took out everything and it's
mhm.
just him singing. I have like the actual from the movie, that whole dance scene. I said, yeah, I have to have that.
I got the song the last time. It's last time
Yes.
I see
Oh
the
my
sun is
god.
like, man, that
Yes.
now one thing I want to praise Delta Slim on, like, because the history lesson as far as like him telling us like the blues is ours. Like that
Hmm.
wasn't forced on us. All that other shit, like, okay, cool, but the blues. That's our stuff.
That was us. That
The
was what we
people,
made. Yeah.
they love the people they love the blues. They just don't like who make it.
Hmm.
And when he sacrificed himself, he
And he
told
was giving
Sammy,
that advice to him. Yeah.
yeah. And he the first thing he did, he picked up the guitar, handed it to Sammy, and I was
Remember what I
like,
told you?
oh man, like Delta. I swear to God, he didn't need to rack up some awards for this performance because
Yeah.
he.
When he handed him the guitar, he said, "Remember what I told you?" And then they were going
Mhm.
through like what he told him. I said, "Yeah, yeah, yeah."
Man, that was a phenomenal performance from that nigga, man. That was a phenomenal performance. So
This was a 10 overall for me. I didn't I
I
because the
was
last
so
time that I
in.
went to movie theaters to see something multiple times
It
was
was for me. It was Black Panther.
I don't even think I saw Black Panther multiple times. It was Avengers when it first came out because we went like when the very first Avengers. It was Avengers because me and my brothers and my dad went. Then we went with my mom. Then we went with my aunt and my cousins. Then we went again, and then we went again, and then we went again. There are
Mhm.
other movies that I went and saw like multiple times, but that was just because I saw it first, and then I wanted to go with my brothers and my dad to go see it.
Mhm.
Not necessarily out of an absolute want. Like I
Mhm.
went to go see it by myself. I went to go see Sinners by myself, and then I said, "Hey, Dad, are y'all going to go see Sinners? Because I want to go." It was like I said, the movie got crack in it because it's
Listen,
like
I told
visual crack. Gotta go.
it was okay. I watched the movie with my child. Like when I tell people, like, you took your child to see Sinners, you goddamn right. You are goddamn right. I seen it with Shell. I seen it again with another one of my friends, and I know I don't. Anytime niggas say I ain't seen the movie, let's go now. Let's go. Like I'll pay for it. Like let's go. Like right now. Like I'll watch it again. Like let's go right now. So
I
yeah,
just want everybody to know if anybody ever says, "Oh, I went and saw Sinners and I didn't like it," I know exactly the type of person that you are, and I don't like you.
stop it.
I don't like you.
Listen, I don't know how you can even like what
Fix
world
your
where you
mouth.
can.
I can't even believe y'all would
Hey,
fix your lips.
calm down, nigga. Fix your nigga, chill, nigga.
I'm
Nah,
just
but
saying.
it's definitely one of those ones. It's definitely gonna go down in the history books. This is gonna be another notch under our belts as far as now the scene as far as like them doing more center movies. Um,
It's not a thing.
you I mean I know it's not a thing. Would I like to see like kind of like this story's so good where like you wanna you not know like what was them niggas doing in Chicago or what was they doing in like there's a if Ryan could really if he wanted to he could stretch this out as long as he wants to. Now would I suggest it? No, because I think Sinners is such a powerful movie and I don't want it to feel like Avatar where you only have one idea for the movie, and then that movie does amazingly, and now Hollywood's like, you gotta make another one. It's like,
Yeah, I think this is such a like a unique experience. Doing more of it and trying to like expound upon the universe just
because now
wouldn't be
you gotta
fun.
top this, like you gotta top this. This is going. It's already 10 out of 10. So I don't even know how you could. I don't even know how you could even.
Honestly, Michael B. Jordan, I think a lot of people, because some people were like, I was not familiar with your game. I was like, how are you unfamiliar with how amazing he is at fucking acting? I was like,
Hmm.
this is so funny because he really made you believe that he had a twin. And
Yeah.
whenever they do red carpets, it always feels like there should be an extra person
Hmm.
in the pictures. And I said they do a lot. And like my friend Solicit Cinema said, she was like, you can tell like a lot of times when people are playing multiple versions of themselves or when they are playing twins or something like that, you can tell where one of them is actually one is in the shot and one was added to the shot. I said
Hmm.
I find it very interesting that you can't tell here. And the reason you can't tell is because he had a body double.
Right.
So he had somebody standing there actually like interacting, and he was playing that opposite character. So if he was going to be Smoke in this scene, his body
Right.
double was playing Stack. If he was going to be Stack in the scene, he had a body double playing Smoke. And I said, and
Mhm.
that's why it feels so seamless, because it feels like a lot of people, when they play multiple versions of themselves, they don't do that. They just record their part and then change their clothes and go record the other part, and then you just kind of like put it in there and make sure
Mhm.
that you mesh it together real good.
Yeah. Now we are not
I
going
just
to.
noticed that my name is misspelled. I
It's
don't
okay.
like that.
We are not going to end this review without talking about. I'm not familiar. I know you know her real name, but we're talking about Annie. When Smoke and Annie was first chopping it up, and you know, Annie asked him, "Why are you here? Like, what are you doing here?" He was like, "You gonna make me say it?" And she looked at him like, "Of course, I love you." I da 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 da. That and she walked over, grabbed that man, whispered in a whole nother language. Your body, listen, your body still will remember me. Oh my god, pants would have sizzled off. It tore down in the shack. I said, "Oh, Annie, I ain't know you had it like that. Like for you to tell, man, I just know when she was doing that nigga ear, I know that shit was fire, man."
First of all, I don't know how to pronounce her last name. I think her first name is Wenwu. But I
Okay,
loved her in fucking Loki as
yes,
B-15.
I did, and I loved her in
My
Lovecraft too.
girl. Lovecraft Country. She's been in a couple other things that I've seen, but I love her acting. So when they put her in here, I said, "Oh, this shit gonna be good." But she
Hmm.
was MVP, honestly, because they would have not survived as long as they did if she wasn't there.
No, of course not.
Now that
Like,
shit between her and Cornbread was funny when he said that she was cooking that fish with stale grease. I
say,
said that
I
was
ain't
her
never
last
used no
straw.
stale.
That was
I
her
ain't never
last
used no
straw.
stale. I ain't never used no
That was
stale.
her
Fuck on the
last
soup.
straw. That shit was
That
funny.
shit was
I
so
said her last
funny.
straw with cornbread being the fucking grease for the fish is insane.
I ain't never. He said I ain't never. I ain't never used no stale grease. That shit was
She
so
said that, you know that.
funny.
I was like, oh my god. She
But
was about
like
to whoop his
you're not
ass.
lying. She was the MVP because, like I said, she was the one who when Cornbread came to the door, she was like, "Why you gotta? Why
Because
you?
they were sure
What?
about to like say, come in. Then she was like, hold on.
No, hold up,
Why
no,
you
no."
gotta
Then
why you gotta do that?
when he tried to talk to Smoke, she like, "No, no, 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 you talk
You're not gonna be.
walk in here now. Just tell him that you did." I was like, "Man, MVP, shit, man."
And
Man.
I honestly, I truly love the fact that nobody even questioned it. Nobody had anything opposite to say.
No, hell, oh, except Pearline. I don't want it.
I mean, not even about the garlic, but just in general, when it came to the vampire thing, nobody was like, "Well, do you think it could?" Nobody had anything else to say.
No, no. Listen, I like that. All I need, listen. After seeing Cornbread almost take Smoke's arm off, after Stack, Pearline was getting on my nerves. When Stack was knocking on the door, hey y'all, like let me out. Pearline like, oh, it's a good thing. What are you
Well,
talking about?
so the thing is that she wasn't there. So the only ones who knew that he died was Smoke, Delta
Smoke,
Slim,
Sammy,
and Sammy and Annie
right?
and Bo. Pearline wasn't over there when
Mm-hmm.
they were saying like, so she was told that he was dead, but when he was started knocking on the door, she was like, who is that? And I don't think that they told her that Smoke was in that room or Stack was in that room either.
Right.
And so when they said that they started talking to him and she's like, isn't that a good thing? Her logic is reasonable because she has no information. None whatsoever.
I know you see that blood on that man's smoke right there.
Yes, but I'm saying so that's where she got the information that he died. But if we're thinking logically, if y'all are saying that y'all think that he's dead, right? And she's like, I checked his pulse. Pulse things can be wrong.
Hmm.
He could have just passed out from the blood
Yeah,
loss,
it
right?
was a
And
lot of
so now,
blood.
but now it was a lot of blood, but she didn't know that.
It was a lot of
But that's what
blood.
I'm saying. She's missing information. So she's
Mhm.
only working with what is present in front of her. And the fact was, y'all told her that Stack was dead. Stack is standing there talking at the door. Like he's just fucking normal. So
Listen,
she's
he
like,
said, "Hey,
isn't that a
hey,
good
hey."
thing?
He said, "Hey, Stack, is that you? Nah, nigga, it's Jim Crow. Stack, you gotta
Like,
stop." Like, Stack,
like she had logical questions because isn't that a good thing? No, it's not a good thing because he was very much
he was
deceased.
very dead.
Like he was
He
very
said,
deceased, but
and then
you weren't there for that. So I understood your question.
I like how like you can
He
see
tried
like
to
when
put
he's
the
at the
vest
door.
on.
No, you see like they took a chunk of his neck out.
Yes. And
Like
he tried to put the vest on to cover it up. Like, sir, the vest doesn't go up to your neck. What are you putting the vest on for?
he got his Stone Cold Steve Austin vest on. I'm like, Nick, I said, listen,
He was like, he said, you all right? He was like, yeah. He was like, there's a lot of blood. And he's like, he checking his neck. He's like, oh yeah, let me. And then
yeah,
gonna
like
go put
yeah,
on
yeah.
the vest. Like the vest is not gonna cover that up.
Listen, when it was yeah, she was definitely MVP. The movie
When she came with the
incredible.
pickle of garlic, that was
Listen,
hot. Yeah. I
listen,
said, yeah, that was quick thinking.
and I think I like what I liked about that part was when Grace was like when she
You
ate the
couldn't
garlic, she
get
was
the
like,
pickled one?
yeah, we're like, damn, like you did, yeah. She said, "Girl, eat." Listen, that's the only time I was on the same side as Grace. She was like, "Girl, eat the garlic. Like he finna shoot you. Like you about to you won't die because you don't like to taste the garlic, bitch." God man, but
I
yeah,
love
man,
this.
that
I love this
that
movie.
the movie. I like how they had a hive mind when like he hit him with the guitar and they all like, oh. I was like, oh shit. Now, we're not going to get off this review until we talk about Smoke single handedly dismantling the
Killing
clan.
the clan, yeah.
Like this check every box off. Checking out like you're fighting vampires, you fighting the clan, you're like,
And the thing is that he wanted a cigarette so bad. He
well, he
rushed through
was,
all of that shit. He was trying so hard to roll that shit up and he couldn't. And he was like, you know what? I'd rather just shoot all of these bitches and find someone that has a cigarette.
listen, dude,
And
like,
then you're
this,
talking to him as he's dying while he's trying to hold and talk to his child. Why are you interrupting that man dying in peace?
listen, when he told that nigga, you got a cigarette, he's like, oh, fuck you. Okay, maybe I didn't give it. He said, yeah,
Maybe
I
he
got a
didn't hear
cigarette.
me.
Yeah, yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
he didn't. Maybe he
Oh,
didn't hear me.
man, you
Let
know,
me talk a little louder.
when he was killing the fuck out of all those niggas, threw the grenade in the car, I said, this nigga, he going crazy.
I say, yeah, he was definitely the one that killed all of the people during the war.
So,
Definitely.
I mean, yeah,
Hands steady on the
yeah,
his hands are steady as long as they're on the fucking gun.
yeah, like yeah, as long as you can't roll up no little, because he was. I was like, hey,
He
bro,
was
like chill,
trying.
like he's like,
He was trying. He really was, but he was stressed out, and I think that's like when it comes. Like, I think that's when the shaking comes the most is when he was stressed out. So he's
yeah,
obviously stressed out, and he can't focus enough to roll up. He was like, you know what, it's fine. But those hands on the gun and the grenade were perfectly
yeah,
steady.
nah, no question. And I like really and truly, we could be talking about this for hours and hours on end. Um, I like because you could tell Stack he was a lot more forgiving than Smoke because when Sammy is talking to him about their dad or the twins' dad, and he was like, yeah, Stack. I mean, Smoke killed him. Like by the time he knocked me unconscious, and then he's like, oh, he used to beat y'all. It's like, yeah, me mostly, but he ain't mean it though. Like for you to say that.
And then Smoke's immediate first question was, "Was your dad putting
Is
your
he
hands on you?"
is he beating y'all? He's like, nah, he always
He's
got
going
beat on
he
me.
was gonna shoot your daddy. I'm not even
Yeah,
lying.
he said, hey, I put my daddy in the ground. Put him, hey,
He was gonna shoot your dad.
it that movie, like I said, got all the replay value. It's a beautiful movie. It's really and truly you can take multiple messages out of this movie. It's not just one. It's really multiple. You can there's some stuff that you may miss. There's some, but there's stuff that you're gonna grasp immediately. This is just one of those movies that this is for us by us. I like the way they when we use that reference, like we were talking about the juke joint.
Hmm.
Um, it's black, and at the end of the day, of course, they don't like to really celebrate black success, but this is what this is. This is black success. You're talking about the blues. We talking about when we really get down to nitty gritty. We talk about music. We
Yeah,
talk about
talking about
us.
music, how evolution, like how music has evolved with us, and I think what's really interesting, and that what I did like about the inclusion of Remick and all of them was how they try to include themselves in a space that's not for them. So they use somebody to get into that space, i.e.,
Hmm.
Mary.
Hmm.
They use Mary to get into that space. And then you take somebody from this space into the other space to try to
Hmm.
convince everybody to put the spaces together. And it's
Right.
like, I,
Because
yes,
they
that's
were talking
exactly what
like
happens.
they were talking about fellowship. They like we go fellowship. What y'all talking about fellowship for? What y'all talking about? Y'all out there, y'all. First of all, y'all outside being lit. I mean, Remy getting his little Irish dance, and he was going crazy. Listen, I don't
But the
care
thing
what the.
is like, it was like the oppression Olympics. He was like, well, I was oppressed too. So, like, you should let me in. No.
Hey, that's why he was so offended when he asked him, "Y'all clan? No, whoa, no, 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 no,
Right. I'm
no,
like, he's like,
no,
I was
no."
oppressed too. Like, and it is part of like the history, right? That the Irish were also oppressed. And I think Britain did that. And I was like, nobody's denying that you were oppressed, right? However, this space was
But
not intended for
you're
you.
not gonna. He said, but you're not gonna bring it over here.
Right. The space was not intended for you. This
Now,
was literally us just having a freedom day. Here you
I'm not
come.
gonna lie. When you have anything with culture, and you got anything with music, and you got anything with black people, it's immediately going to work. I'm not talking about the movie. I'm talking about the scene with Remick when he's like they're doing the Irish thing. You got all those niggas out there, and it look lit. You see cornbread over here. I'm like, okay, this I ain't gonna lie. To you. If I was if from the outside, I'm like, those niggas look lit outside. The main vampire, he doing some type of crazy
It was an
leg
Irish.
dance.
It was a river
He's doing,
dancing.
yeah, he was going like, I mean, like his feet was going crazy, and
Yeah,
I was
he
like,
had to learn how to river dance. Actually, I believe he said in one of the interviews he'd never done it
okay,
before, so he had to learn how to do
hmm
it.
I would think so because I mean, he like that footwork was
But it's the same with Miles. Miles never played the guitar before, and he
Mhm.
learned like in 5 months.
Well, okay. That's what's up. I mean, yeah. So I mean, that's shit. It's so much we can talk. I mean, when I tell you when we got the weekend of sinners, TikTok turned into Center Central.
Mhm.
Literally, you
That's
had
why on
King.
Thursday when it came out for the early showing, I was in there because I just knew if I waited until Friday or Saturday or Sunday, there were going to be clips on TikTok immediately. I said, "Let me go on
Yes,
Thursday. I can't do
yeah,
this
exactly.
because if y'all spoil it for me, I'm gonna kill you. I will kill
Listen,
you."
I knew that I seen it that Saturday. It actually, to be honest with you, it was more than what I expected because I was already excited about the movies. You talk about black people, talk about Michael B. Jordan, you talking about Ryan Coogler, you talking about vampires. Oh, I'm sold. I'm watching it. Okay, cool. But I didn't think it was gonna be this. I didn't think it was gonna be. I need to go back and watch it again and again and again. And that line when Michael B. Jordan said this is the last time when Sammy asked him before the sun went down, That was the best night of my life. And when
Mm-hmm.
Stack, I remember, so I was Stack was thinking about it when everybody before the juke joint opened up, they got everybody. They,
Everybody was
you
coming
know,
out,
yeah,
and
everybody.
everybody's putting that stuff. Everybody's hanging out, laughing, drink. I say yeah.
And like I said, that one line, yeah, that was the best night of my life. Last time I seen my brother,
Last time
last
I
time
seen
I
my
seen his
son.
son. So I said,
Mm.
I said, mm.
Fabulous, absolutely fabulous. But before we do leave, I do want y'all to know Ryan Coogler does have two projects that are coming out that do need support as well. Ironheart, which comes out June 24th on Disney Plus,
Oh,
and
we're in
Eyes
there.
of what it yeah, on Disney Plus, and then Eyes of Wakanda, the animated TV series. I think he's
Mhm.
executive producer on both.
Hey, I see somebody said it looked like they need to call Ryan to do the Blade movie at this point.
I feel like they do, honestly, but and a lot of people were like, "Oh, look at Marvel when they." I said, but first of all, the situation that happened with the Blade movie, because the Blade movie is not completely off the table. The issue with the Blade movie was the script. It was never a director. I mean, they had like several directors. I think they went through two. They had people who were wanting to be attached to the film, but the script was ass. They kept trying to do too much. They kept trying to put Brielle in there. I don't know why y'all are trying to put his daughter in there when y'all haven't even brought him into the universe. So it was never, and that's what Delroy Lindo, they asked him about that, and he said it just kind of went off the rails. It went off the rails because the script was ass. If
Oh, so
y'all
he was
had
supposed to
an
be in
actual,
it?
yeah, he was supposed to be in it. And so, but he
I would
dropped
have
out of
loved
it.
that.
And he dropped out of it because it was just everywhere. And I'm glad that uh Ali had never attached like detached himself from it. I like that he's still sticking to it, and they are currently happy with the script finally. And then they're just looking for a director. I have no doubt in my mind that they had Ryan Coogler in mind for that. I
They're
have
gonna yeah,
no doubt about that
cut
at all.
cut the check.
So, I mean, at this point, it's just a matter of timing and getting everything together and putting where like it needs to fit into the rest of the MCU as well. So, as
Hmm.
long as they're happy with the script, we're good. And that was the issue the entire time was the
Right.
script. The script was terrible.
Okay. Well, yeah, but yeah, this is Sinners. 10 out. I got it at 12 out of 10. It is a must go. It
A
is a must watch.
million out of 10. It's so good.
So good. If you support Ryan Coogler, support Michael B. Jordan. I mean, outside of even them, the other actors are just as good. Like, I mean, the dude who played Cornbread, great. The dude who played Sandy, great. Like there has not been a miss. There was not a miss with this casting right here. There was no misses right here whatsoever.
I love their
So,
their tour also. Their tour shows how like much fun they had on set because they are all so fun with each other. Their interviews aren't super formal. Like I'm like, this is how you're supposed to fucking do a movie.
hmm so yeah, it's it was a great movie, great movie, great movie.
But that
So
is it. Tell them where they can find you.
you can find me on IG at JasonRain423. Now, of course, TikTok, Jason Rain, but it's Jason Rain 3 now because they punished me and they deleted my old shit, so I'm back popping from scratch. Of course, Snap, Jason Rain, all that other good stuff. So yeah, on IG, Jason Rain 423. You gotta follow the Nerd on the Street page, Nerd on the Street for Life on IG. TikTok, Jason Rain 3, and Snapchat, same thing, Jason Rain. But what about you,
Y'all
man?
can
Where can they find you at? Because you everywhere.
um you can find me on TikTok at Kaori Akari, Instagram Witchblade22, or the Dr. Kaori Knight Instagram. Not that I use it, but anyway.
Mhm.
And then the doctor's office on YouTube for comic books, comic book characters, and a new horror podcast that my friend Charlie and I, Charlie from Captain Diesel's Dojo, so Captain Diesel, that we started. The first episode is about Elizabeth Battery, or as everybody who currently knows her, Elizabeth Battery from Castlevania. So we're doing the actual serial killer that Elizabeth is based on.
Mm-hmm.
And it's called Ghastly Gospels. So
Okay.
comes out on
Now,
Sundays.
now tell them where they can find your book.
Oh, on Amazon. Up until I am able to just like sell it myself. The Midnight Whispers comes out or is on Amazon currently, and then I do have another book in the middle of writing. So,
Oh, okay, cool, perfect. So
but
that's all we got for y'all. Listen, if y'all haven't go see Sinners, go watch it. If you've seen Sinners, go watch it again. We got to spread the word.
literally go watch it again.
So yeah, but yeah, we up out of here, y'all, and we're gonna now. I'm gonna talk to you when we get off camera because I gotta talk to you
Okay.
about something.
Well,
But yeah,
bye all. We love you guys.
do.